What's up, Army? Welcome back. And if you're new, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing to share this space with me. I hope you're doing well. I'm just going to get right into it. I'm going to hit the tarot today. I was looking down at my charms right before I started, and I saw one of these charms, this charm in particular. I thought it said freedom. It doesn't say freedom, it says enough. But I saw freedom, and I saw this wing. Somebody has achieved freedom in some way, shape, or form. And congratulations. Red Bull. Red Bull gives you wings, right? Somebody drinks a lot of Red Bull. But these are somebody just became a pilot, like got their actual wings. And I'm seeing I I don't know if anybody remembers the airlines. I don't know if they all did it, but they used to give out pins with wings on it that had like the airline symbol. My dad worked for TWA, and I used to have a whole bunch of those. I haven't thought about that in a very long time. I'm seeing that. I'm seeing those pins with the wings. It's like a gold. They were gold. They weren't actual like metal gold. It was plastic, but they were gold wings. I'm seeing that. Somebody got their pilot's wings. Somebody became a pilot. Or symbolically, somebody has taken back control, has reclaimed their spot as a pilot in their life. Gold wings. Gold wings are significant. Gold wing, the motorcycle Gold wing, the Honda Gold wing. Gold wings. What is that? What is that? That movie, Percy Jackson. I think it was the second one when he fought that guy with the gold wings on his shoes. Who was that? I can't remember the name of that. If you know what I'm talking about, leave it in the comments because I cannot remember the name. But that's what I'm seeing. The shoes with gold wings on them. All right. I'm going to pull some tarot. I feel like I haven't started out with the tarot in a very long time. So I'm going to do that. Yellow roses. Chinese checkers. Do people still play Chinese checkers with the marbles? I'm hearing, ooh, baby, I love your way. I'm hearing somebody say, I like your smile. I'm seeing somebody baking bread, specifically baking bread. Bun in the oven. Someone just found out they're pregnant. Strawberry shortcake. My daughter just bought me a strawberry shortcake. Not the dessert, the old school strawberry shortcake. Funko Pop. It's dope. Strawberries. I've gotten that before. Strawberries are very significant to somebody. I'm hearing that. What's that song? Candy Girl. Who's that? Jackson 5? Pennies. Something about cars. Mustang. A green Mustang. What is that, Spirit? I'm hearing somebody say, don't you remember? Do you remember the time? Messages are coming in random as fuck right now. Cat. I heard cat and then capitalist. Catalyst. Somebody's a catalyst. Hearing that line again from The Lion King. You don't even know who you are. It's this energy of like somebody being in this I'm not gonna cry. Somebody being in like Five of Cups energy, and Spirit is like, if you only knew what's around the corner for you. Chin up. Chin up. It's like this, the final lap. You're almost there. It just, I'm seeing that illustration again of like stopping right before the treasure. Spirit saying, I know you're tired. I know you're tired, but you need to know that you're worth it. All right, Spirit. The messages you have for the highest good of those watching, please and thank you. Hangman. Death. The Chariot and the Emperor. All right, one more. Spirit said one more. Hang on, I have so many crystals on my desk, I'm running out of room. I really am. I gotta find another place to put them. Calm before the storm, I'm hearing. Hermits on the bottom of the deck. This is all major arcana coming out right off the bat, in case you haven't noticed. One more, please. Ace of Cups. Justice at the bottom of the deck. Give me a second. I don't want to jump to conclusions. I don't want to assume. I just need a minute. Thing about this Chariot. It's actually a theme in this deck that I'm realizing now. His eyes are closed. And I love the faces on the horses. They're like almost Disney like. They're looking up at him like, are you sure you know what you're doing? This person is full steam ahead on on faith, and it's at the center of the spread. It comes after the hangman and death. It's the energy of like what I was saying before. Um, don't give up. It's right there. I've gotten this before, right? But it's like whoever I'm reading for, you've been feeling stalled out. You've been feeling like um how do I explain this? There's a lot of emotion behind it. It's this energy of like almost wanting to just give up on a dream, like hoping for this, wishing for this, wanting this is not, it's not serving me, because it doesn't feel like it's coming. It feels like it's all the way back there, or all the way up there. It's, I hear a lot in like the spiritual community, or even whatever you want to call it, the metaphysical community, the community that um, believes in law of attraction, right? Where they they say a lot to ignore the reality, like ignore what's in the present. And I'm getting the energy of somebody who is like, but this is what it is. Am I wasting my time hoping and wishing for something? And this is like, this energy, this hangman and death energy, like it, this stall out, this delay, this what feels like has been going on forever, and you just keep going and keep pushing through and keep going and keep pushing through and keep trying to see things differently and keep trying to change and keep trying to grow. And it's like, where's the payoff? You know, it it was never done for a payoff, right? But I think everybody wants to feel like they're working towards something. And the idea that there's gold at the end of the rainbow and light at the end of the tunnel is what keeps any of us going. The idea that you're worth it, or somebody will see that you're worth it, or you're working towards something, you know? That's what keeps people going. I mean, if there was no goal, then it's like, well, what am I doing it for, right? But Spirit is pointing out um paying attention to what has been accomplished. It's this energy of like so many people just keep going, keep looking towards the end, and there's the need for appreciation of the journey, which we've spoken about so many times on this channel. It's about the journey. And there's this balance where it's like it feels like this internal conflict where if I'm satisfied with the present, then that means I have to give up on my dreams for the future. And that's not it. Because when we live with this concept of I'll be happy when, then it's like when you get there, the happy, like the goalpost keeps moving when that's the perspective. Does that make sense? So there's this call to find peace in this space, in this stall, in this what seems to be a standstill. It's like this standstill is necessary. The growth, the lessons, the appreciation of the now, of what you have now, of who you're with now, who you are right now. The satisfaction in the present moment is necessary for what's on the other side of that. And what's on the other side of this hangman and death is the Chariot, the Emperor, and the Ace of Cups. This is I'm sorry. This is coming out of that hangman and death energy, right? On this blind faith. It's not even knowing you're moving that fast towards what you've manifested. See, the horses are like, where are we going? And this person's got their eyes closed. They're trusting in their higher self, in God, in the divine, to take them there. There's this sweeping energy, this freedom from this hangman in death. It's like feeling held back and then just being released. I'm getting the image of like a balloon, like just like there's something that breaks. It's almost like a dam breaks. It's what it feels like. It's fast, but it's not forceful, if that makes sense. It's like wind in somebody's sails, wind beneath their wings. There's something that sets somebody free, that or somebody that sets them free, that gives them wings, that breathes life back into them, that makes sense, that there's somebody that that makes sense. It's like going in a direction and almost stumbling into this Emperor, Ace of Cups energy. And this is either you coming into control and self-love. I'm not going to say either. This is coming into a place and meeting somebody that makes everything that you've been through make sense. They make it all make sense. It's the energy of fumbling in the dark and not knowing. I don't know why this is making me emotional. not knowing why you're doing the work. It's like just setting out to do the work, wanting to know better and do better for yourself so you can be a better person in society, so you can have a positive effect on the earth, be a better person, be a better parent, be a better friend, be a better aunt or uncle, be a better grandmother or grandfather, be a better brother or sister. You recognize that there's work to be done, and you're not really sure where it's leading, and you feel alone, and you feel like you're working towards something but you don't know what. So you just keep working because you don't you know inside of you there's a reason beyond your initial intentions. And then you come out the other side and come face to face with a person or people, a situation, and you fit perfectly. I'm literally hearing a click, like a seatbelt click. That's what I'm hearing. Like it just clicks. And everything that you've been through, good or bad, it's like you've felt like this tumbleweed, just rolling through life, just doing what you need to do, picking up picking up pieces as you go along, carrying things with you, memories, energy, people, not knowing why you're collecting these things, trying to figure out what the lesson is in every situation, trying to take the lessons of every situation and taking pieces with you and leaving what no longer serves you. It's this energy of going through life and doing this and taking and leaving and taking and leaving, and I don't need that and I'll keep this, and I don't need that and I'll keep this, and I'll pay this one forward and I'll pay that forward and I'll do this, and just staying caught up in that and not caught up in a distracted, unorganized sense, but just, I don't know where I'm going, but I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to keep learning. I'm just going to keep growing. And then there's this breakthrough that you don't see coming. There's this breakthrough that you didn't see, that you were actually working towards. And it's this, like, it's breaking through the glass ceiling and floating above it all. And seeing it with this bird's eye perspective, hearing the click, feeling the click, seeing the other people that have also broken through the glass ceiling, seeing eye to eye with them, seeing yourself in them, and knowing that everything that you've been through was necessary to get to this place. That journey is necessary. This could be the energy of crossing over, but it doesn't feel like that. It does in a sense, but what Spirit is showing me is what they want to show you. It's there's something ahead of you that will show you just how valuable and just how appreciated you are. And not by people you've been fighting to gain the approval of, not by people who never appreciated you, but first and foremost by Spirit, by your guardian angels, by your ancestors. It's this this display in your life that will convince you beyond the shadow of a doubt that you have always been loved and you have always been supported and you have always been on the right path. And whether it be somebody else showing you or spirit, it feels like both. It just feels like everything clicks at the same time. That's the energy that it is. It's everything just clicks at the same time. It's you just keep going. I don't know why spirit is bringing this up, but I'm just going to have to say it, and forgive me if you've heard me say this before, but I feel like I have lived this specific lifetime multiple times. I feel like I'm not really sure how many times, but there have been certain points in my life where I have had visions of myself giving up. And they feel like points in time where I have given up. Are they echoes of the past and another lifetime? Maybe. But they feel like this lifetime. I feel like I've almost been in some kind of like Groundhog's Day in this lifetime, and every time I just get a little further. And I've come to this place where I'm like, listen, I'm writing this out to the end. There's no quitting this time around, because I do not want to have to do this again. There's this knowing that I have, this determination that I have, and I don't know what's on the other side of me not giving up, but I know there's a reason that I keep coming back to this lifetime to do it again. It's the energy that spirit is giving me right now. It's the energy of, if you give up, you won't know what's really in store for you. There's something that you can't see on purpose. And a spirit just said it's the greatest gift of all time. No matter how insignificant you might feel, first and foremost, you have to ask yourself, whose standards are you holding yourself to? Why do you feel insignificant? Who told you you were insignificant? What makes you insignificant? Because you're not. I don't care how small you are. I don't care if you're single and you have no family and all you have is 2 cats. Maybe 1 cat. Or maybe just a goldfish. Or maybe nothing. Every single person on this planet has a purpose. And it could be to affect the guy behind the counter at 7-Eleven with a smile, or an old man having a bad day, missing his wife, and you have a conversation. Every interaction is significant. We are all reflections of each other, and we are all here for each other, and everybody wants to look at themselves as some lonely island, just me against the world type shit. Not enough people see us as a collective, and as a collective, as the human collective, we are here to affect each other. And every single person that we meet, every single person that crosses our path, it is for a reason, and we're not always supposed to know what that reason is. But it's all for a reason and it's all for a purpose, and we are all constantly learning from and teaching each other. There is absolutely nothing insignificant about you or your life, and Spirit needs you to know that. Spirit is saying to believe it, to pour into yourself, to work on taking charge of your thoughts, of your life, to stop seeing yourself as this just I'm getting the image of just like somebody sees themselves as just floating through existence, having no control over what's going on. You have control. Every thought, every action is under your control. And it's up to you to decide where you want the wind to blow. Been getting this energy the last couple days, and it's coming to me now again. It's always darkest before the dawn. Just when it seems like nothing you do matters, just when it seems like there's no point. The sun rises. Spirit is saying you were meant to affect people's lives just by your very existence. And choosing what kind of ripple effect you want to have on this planet is entirely in your control. Our energy affects everything and every person around us, positive or negative. It's not just you. It's not just about you. It's about all of us. We're a team. We're an army. Each living our own lives, but headed towards the same goal. And the differences in our journeys add to the flavor of the collective. Does that make sense? Spirit is saying, don't let a bad day convince you that you have a bad life. What else, please? Tower. The Fool. Holy shit, man. King of Wands. You know, I was going to say before I started this that I've been seeing the King of Wands and I didn't. The High Priestess. Listen, I cannot. I just cannot. The Two of Cups and the Knight of Cups. I really need to point out the fact that there is all major arcana out here outside of the Ace of Cups, the King of Wands, the Two of Cups, and the Knight of Cups. Everything else is major arcana. The Hangman, Death, the Chariot, the Emperor, the Tower, the Fool, the High Priestess. Spirit's telling me to look at the top of the deck. So I'm going to look at the top of the deck. Fucking 9 of Cups. You know something's coming. But because it's taken so long, you're trying to convince yourself that you're crazy and you should just give up on it. Spirit is pointing this out to me. This is not the same people. But you see these two people falling out of the tower holding hands. Spirit is saying it needed to be torn down to be rebuilt. Some relationship needed to be torn down in order to be rebuilt. They fall and they rise again. Two people needed to be completely broken down, where they felt like they were falling separately, but they're holding hands. They're falling together and they rise together. And there's this connection, this intuitive connection, this Knight of Cups energy. It's like, again, eyes closed. Faith. There's something that doesn't make sense, but at the same time can't be denied. And it's like, if it means nothing, why the fuck is it there? Why won't it go away? There's a greater purpose and a meaning. And there's a spiritual connection that can't be denied here. This is all major arcana. These are all high rollers. This is significant. This hangman death period that you've been in is more significant than you can imagine. I just keep hearing it needed to be torn down to rise again. It's like something needed to be torn down in order to be built on the proper foundation. This King of Wands, this dog is looking at him like the same way these horses are looking at him. Like, are you sure you want to do this? You sure this is what you want to do? And whoever this King of Wands energy is, it's unwavering, passionate. Again, it's the energy of I don't know where I'm going, but I know I need to just keep going. I know somehow, some way it's going to be worth it. But here in this Tower, Fool, and King of Wands energy, it's this coming out of the rubble. Like I said before, taking what you need, leaving what you don't. This King of Wands energy is coming out of the rubble, knowing exactly what he's leaving in the rubble and exactly what he's taking with them. There are some things or people or whatever it is that existed before the Tower. Or someone that existed before the Tower, that he's coming out of this rubble, holding on to with this confidence that didn't exist before. It's like the tear down and the fact that this thing still existed through this thing still exists through the tear down. It's still here. It hasn't gone away. It won't go away. Is giving this King of Wands, whether it be a whatever. I don't know what this is. I don't know how this resonates with you. But this King of Wands energy has it's almost as if everything has fallen away and this one thing still remains. It's that last man standing energy. It's no matter what, this one thing won't go away. This one dream, this one passion, this one person won't go away. And I'm hearing I've never been more convinced in my life. This King of Wands is heading towards that. Because it can't be erased. And this is your confirmation. This is your encouragement from spirit. Yes, your intuition is correct. Yes, keep going. Yes, this is meant for you. Yes, spirit is saying yes. What else, please? Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune, 6 of Cups, 7 of Swords. One more, please. The Devil. Ace of Wands, 6 of Wands. Be careful with this 7 of Swords devil energy. It's there is, let me tell you something right freaking now. There is no way in heaven, earth, or hell that this 7 of Swords devil energy will trump this other energy on any given day. This is the typical self-sabotage, that those sneaky trauma parts we talk about all the time. That's what this is, trying to come in and but you see this, let me show you something. You see these eyes up here? If you continue to trust your intuition, if you continue to trust that you are protected, if you continue to trust that you are safe, if you continue to trust in the divine guidance that is pushing this chariot, the divine guidance that is, what was I looking at before? that is keeping you focused on your wish fulfilled. This, you will see this a mile away. There is nothing to worry about. This is bullshit. In comparison to all of this, do you see? We have the Seven of Swords and the Devil up against, okay? The Chariot, the Emperor, the Tower, the Fool, the High Priestess, the Six of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, the Six of Cups, and the Ace of Wands. This is like, I'm feeling like this is so deep in somebody. This is so ingrained in somebody. This is so, it is written on somebody's soul. This purpose, this passion, this energy. It's undeniable. There's no way that this energy is so small. The Seven of Swords devil energy is so small in comparison to this passion, this determination, this drive, this fucking rocky spirit that's going on here. Remember who you are. Just like the beginning, you don't even know who, remember who the fuck you are. And don't let these, I'm hearing whispers, these whispers. It's like somebody's paranoid about what people are going to say or how they're going to be judged. And this it's like this little, like something that used to be so big and loud in your mind that has kept you in this hangman energy. Something that has been so big and loud is getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and more insignificant, because you're learning and knowing your worth, and you're recognizing that victory is yours. It has always been yours. What is meant for you will always be for you, and nobody and nothing can sabotage that unless you give in to these bullshit thoughts that tell you that you don't deserve it and that you're insignificant. It's lies. Fucking Justice on the bottom of the deck again. Do I really have to say more? Justice is yours. It was always yours. Claim it. Fucking Lovers. Bro. Five of Cups. Said that in the beginning. Somebody's feeling like they missed somebody's, what did I say? I don't remember. I said something to that effect. Somebody's in this Five of Cups energy and it's unnecessary. Coming out of it, it's actually in reverse. Keep your eyes forward. Focus on what could be instead of what was. And there's no way you'll lose. I'm going to leave it at that. This is beautiful, triumphant, incredible energy. And I'm so happy for you. Remember how important you are. Remember how valuable you are in the eyes of the divine, in the eyes of your higher self, in the eyes of your ancestors. Keep fucking going. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at that. If you're still with me, you already know you're a fucking real one. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. You're beautiful.